Hey guys, it's Miss Duncan. Today is Tuesday, and we're going to be working on page 260 of our Ready Math book, okay? This is still lesson 27, Understand Tiling in Rectangles, okay? So let's look at the magnifying glass and let's explore the idea. Fill rectangles with squares, then find the total number of squares. All right, let's look at number 2. Dan started drawing squares to fill this rectangle. Draw the rest of the squares. Okay, so I'm going to show you two ways. This first way is what you might do when you read this question. You might just go and start making each square, and then it's hard to kind of make them all the same size. You can do that, and then just know that they're not going to be the same size. Or, let's erase that, you can do it this easier way. So since we see that there are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, we're just going to pull these lines straight across. Okay? And then we're going to do the same for the columns. Pull the lines straight down. I'm using the side of my pencil, sorry. And even though I messed up a little bit, let's see if I can fix it. They are much straighter when you do this. Okay? All right. So now let's look at number 3. How many rows of squares are there? So our rows, go side to side like this. Rows. Okay, so let's count the rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 rows. And then how many squares are in each row? Let's count that. So that would also translate to how many columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 squares in each row. In each row. Okay, now let's look at number 4. How many squares are there in all? So you could go and count all of the squares, but I'm going to challenge you to do something different. So if you are working on your multiplication facts right now with our math facts, I want you to try to figure out 6 times 4 or 4 times 6 because there are 6 rows and 4 squares in each row, okay? Another thing that you could do instead of doing the multiplication or counting each fact, we can add 4 plus 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. So with this, we know that 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay. And then when we add 8 and 8 together, we know that our doubles, 8 plus 8 is 16. And 16 plus 8, if we start with 16 in our head and count up 8, 6 and 8 is 14. And then 1 and 1 is 2. So 24 is going to be your answer no matter how you find it out. If you do the multiplication, the addition, the just counting the squares, or adding 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. 24 squares. Squares in all. All right, now let's go down to number 5. This rectangle is the same size as the one above. Dan started drawing larger squares to fill this rectangle. Draw the rest of the squares. So we're going to use the bigger squares now, and we're still going to be pulling down from those lines like I showed you before. We'll pull across for our rows. and then down from our columns. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, number 6, how many rows of squares are there? How many squares are in each row? So how many rows are there? We know that rows go across, left to right. So there are 1, 2, 3 rows. And how many columns or how many squares are in each row? 1, 2. 2 in each row. Okay? And now we are going to find how many in all. Like I said before, I'm going to challenge my kiddos that are doing multiplication to do this multiplication fact. 3 times 2 or 2 times 3. And then for my other kiddos, we are going to add 2 plus 2 plus 2. Or you can also count by 2s. 2, 4, 6. So, no matter how you find the answer, if you count, if you do multiplication or addition, you're going to find that the answer is there are 6 squares in all. Okay? All right, guys, we will do the next page tomorrow on Wednesday.